hot and fast chicken wings. We're gonna do today's cook from start to finish in under an hour. I'm gonna show you how on the Big Joe. Let's get started. Hey, I'm James from Smokin' Dad Barbecue. Have you ever thought, man, I'd love some wings, but don't really know if we have time to make them. Maybe it's just quicker to do takeout. Well, that's exactly what we did last week, and our takeout order took well over an hour to arrive, and I couldn't help but think, man, I bet I could make something quicker and that tastes better in under an hour. So that's today's challenge. Can we pull off the perfect chicken wing in under an hour? To show you how I'm gonna set up for today's cook, let me bring the camera a little bit closer to the Big Joe and get this fire started. Okay, so to set up, I'm gonna use 2 pieces of oak wood and place those right on the bottom of our basket, and then pour our charcoal on top so we get some nice clean smoke. Let me go ahead and just grab our bag of Jealous Devil and fill this up. So as you can see, still lots of space for extra charcoal. We don't need that for today's cook under an hour. I still want to be able to see the holes around the bottom and just make sure that there was enough there to cover our wood. Let's go ahead and install our slow roller. So to do that, I'm just going to take out the divide and conquer rack, drop in the base of our slow roller, add our rack back, and get our grill gun. If you'd like to see this torch and other torches that I use in action, I'll put a link down below to see the head-to-head video, but when you're in a hurry, this is hands down one of the fastest ways to light your fire. So that only took about a minute, and we've got some coals embering up. What I'm gonna do now is just go ahead and leave the bottom vent open and the top vent open until we get some heat inside of our Big Joe. Okay, while our Big Joe is coming up to temperature, it's the perfect time to show you 2 things. First, forgot to mention that the time that I started the fire was 5:47 local time, just to keep track if we pull this off in under an hour. And the second one, since we're doing this quick, I'm not gonna make a rub, I'm just gonna use a Meat Church Holy Voodoo. It's great on chicken wings and things like that. So let's go ahead and get these coated. All right, those look good. We'll let that start to sweat in for the last few minutes while our Big Joe is coming up to temperature. All right, I know it might feel like we're wasting some time waiting to build temperature, but this is really important that we get some heat in our dome, as that's gonna be what helps render out fat. Now that we are at 400 degrees, once I forgot to mention, but once we stopped seeing billowy smoke, I did go ahead and close the control tower top from wide open like this to its max open closed position, and that's something that actually helps trap some more heat in the dome and build the heat more quickly. So I only have that in the wide open position when lighting. Let's check out our coals here. Woo, throwing some heat. All right, I think we are ready to assemble our divide and conquer rack, and I'll show you how we're gonna set up for today's cook. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is just go ahead and assemble the base of our slow roller, add in our top. And I'm using the slow roller today because it pushes the air around in a convection manner. The claim is 20 times better. Don't have a way of testing that, but from experience, it's absolutely made a big difference. So what I'm gonna do now is just go ahead and install our X accessory ring. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and install our X accessory ring on the second position of the divide and conquer rack. And I'm putting this here because you can notice there's a gap underneath that I can still fit my hand underneath, so that any drippings are not going to be hitting our slow roller and burning and giving us any bad taste. As well, I'm going to show you how we're going to keep the top of the slow roller clean. And so to do that, I'm going to be using my Smokeware 14-inch drip pan, which is not quite as big as the top of the slow roller, but it's going to give us some great protection and not interfere with the design of the slow roller in terms of how smoke is supposed to come up and out and around. I've tried using some square pans that kind of go front to back or side to side. Just never feels like the smoke moves the way that I wanted it to, so I was looking for a circular pan, and I just love that this big one fits just like this on top of the X accessory rack. So let's go ahead now and add in our other 2 grates. And since we're doing hot and fast, I'm gonna use the Kamado Joe grid extender today and get these wings right up high in the dome. Perfect. So I think I should be able to fit that whole Costco pack up high, and what that's going to do is going to give me the radiant heat and all of that smoke from those 2 pieces of oak and a Jealous Devil charcoal that we've got burning down below for a really fast, nice, even cook. Let's go ahead and let this continue to build heat. All right, our grill is nearly up to temperature and it is time to get our chicken wings on. And so the game plan here is to put them on for 15 minutes, rotate them after about 10 minutes, flip them over, check for internal temperature, and if we're seeing anything near 165, 170 degrees, I'm gonna go ahead, toss them in sauce, put them back on for another 5 minutes or so for that sauce to tack up. So that'll bring us to about 30 minutes of cook time if all goes to plan, and we'll make it in just under our 1 hour budget. Let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and get our chicken wings on. So just gonna dump these on the top rack level and spread those out. This grid expander, I realized after I got it for the Big Joe, is 18 inches, which is the exact same grid capacity of the Kamado Joe Classic. And so we've got more than enough space to spread these out. And what that'll allow us to do is position them directly over our drip tray, as well as get them nice and high in the dome, where our slow roller is going to be pushing that forced air smoke really rapidly, and that'll act a little bit like a deep fry, if you will, for our doneness. So I'm just going to hit these for one last sprinkle of rub in any spots that look a little light, and we are ready to start our timer. Those look good. 15 minutes starts now. All right, 15 minutes are up. Let's take a look and see how our wings are coming along. Oh, those are looking good. So let's go ahead and just give these a toss. All right, let's get those back on. Okay, so I promise these wings did not take all night, but I did have a technical malfunction. So the battery on my external mic went dead, and halfway through the video, there was no audio. So, from the 1980s movies, I've hired a really affordable voice dubbing artist who I'm sure will make it undetectable. Let's roll the tape.
Delicious. This is pretty much the best wing ever. Fall off the bone. Oh man, the words aren't matching.
Ugh, that's terrible. Okay, he's fired. Instead, let me just do a quick summary of everything that happened from when the audio went out. So to this point, we've done our wings for 15 minutes, flipped after the 15-minute mark. And so after 30 minutes total, our wings are fully cooked. So we are about 200 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature reading on the wings. And while this is more done than what you need, there's no risk of drying out these wings on a Kamado Joe. It just holds so much moisture that I'm not worried about going past that 165, 175 range with a wing. Instead, I'd rather focus on the skin, because we could have pulled these off even earlier, but perhaps not had that texture or skin bite that we wanted. So that's completely fine with me to ride a little bit longer. After that, we just went ahead and tossed them in some sauce, mix that up really, really well. And I removed the grid expander just so I had more space just to dump them and spread them all out and not have to worry about any falling off. For about 5 minutes, that sauce had tacked up and we were ready for our taste test. So in terms of our total cook time, we went about 3 minutes past the hour. And so if I had to shorten this up to really hit our 1 hour time frame, I think I needed 1 or 2 larger pieces of charcoal just to help overcome this cooler weather. Otherwise, we were right on budget for a 1 hour start to finish cook. In terms of the wings themselves, just absolutely love doing these on the Kamado Joe. We're getting a hint of that smoke flavor from burying the oak underneath the charcoal and then cooking at a higher hot temperature using the slow roller. You get that nice skin finish and of course, you know, great bite through all the way. A little bit of kick from our Holy Voodoo rub as well as our buffalo sauce, but in our house we absolutely love it with a bit of a kick. So I apologize for the technical mishap and the unusual ending to one of these videos the next day, but I still hope you enjoyed the video, learned something about hot and fast wings, and if you did, please let YouTube know by smashing that thumbs up button, and let me know by hitting subscribe to catch future videos. Until next time, I'm James from Smoky Dad Barbecue signing off, and don't be afraid to fire it up.